Odyssey of the Mamili Mafwe royal dynasty. Odyssey in this case meaning the journey. So the Mafwe royal establishment has been in existence for some time now. Therefore, I felt the journey, especially the journey from the Lilemba Kingdom up to now, should be documented. So briefly in this book, I looked at the Lozi historical ties. I also looked at the liberation struggle, the role the Mafwe played in the liberation struggle of Namibia, and I equally looked at their judiciary and the social systems. That's in brief, but page by page, I looked at the original name of the former name of this region, which was Caprivi, because there have been some disputes, there have been some debates, there have been some arguments as the original name of the region before it was named Caprivi. So I tried to clear some of the issues. I tried to, from a scholarly point of view, I tried to argue around that name. And after that, I looked at the historical background of the Mafwe as a tribe. How do they come? How do they fit into the whole setup of the Lilemba in relationship to the Lilemba Kingdom? And I equally looked at the clans. Mafwe are not monolinguistic group. There are about 7 groups that make up the Mafwe as a tribe. So I looked at each linguistic group or each clan, and I tried to explain. And it will, some people think that is that should not be the case, but that is a health setup, because we cannot talk of a pure tribe these days. There are many nations which are made of different groups of people, but under one umbrella. Britain is a very good example, where you have the Welsh, you have the English speaking, you have the Scottish, you have the Irish. Although the Scottish apparently on the 18th of September they are going to the polls seeking a referendum to secede from the United Kingdom. The outcome of that we don't know currently. And I also looked at the Mamili chieftainship in relationship to the Lilemba Kingdom, how it related, the role the Mamili chieftainship played in building or in protecting and even restoring the Lilemba Kingdom. For example, when Liwanika was deposed by Mata and Akfuna, he ran to Mashi, which was under Mamili. The Lozi that was speaking currently is a major of many languages, but in reality, the Mamili chieftainship contributed to that, because the Kololos were based at Linyanti, because Siliana or Lozi is a major of Siliana and Skololo. So really the Mamili chieftainship definitely played a role in maintaining and building the Lilemba Kingdom in one way or another. The first missionaries, for example, David Livingstone, when he came in the Mamili land. So I'm trying to argue from that point that the Mamili chieftainship played a very important and a crucial role in restoring and even in building the Lilemba Kingdom in one or another. And then I also looked at the historical background of Mamili chieftainship. From the days, there's a tendency among some people, especially among the Mamili's people, to think that the chieftainship started only during Imata around 1864. But it goes beyond that. As far as I'm concerned, according to research, the Mamili chieftainship goes back to the early days of the Lilemba Kingdom. That is during the early days of Mbo Manasilundu. Then I also looked at the Tungas, or the chiefs, or the Mamilis from 1864 up to now. I started with Imata, who was sent to Linyanti after the Luyanas have defeated the Kololos. The Kololos, as we know, defeated the Luyanas around 1830. So after 30 years of the Kololo rule, the Luyanas decided to fight their conquerors, and then they took over government. So Sipopa, who led that revolt, sent Mamili to Linyanti to guard the area, that in case there will be other invaders coming, so that he could notify the Luyanas at Naliere. So I started from Imata. After him, he was succeeded by his son, Elifasi. And after Elifasi, Elifasi was succeeded by his son, Simata, Denten Iwanki Simata. And after that, then it was Chief Noah Simasiku Imata. So from there, then we have Richard Temso Muhinda in the 70s, and after Richard Temso Muhinda, it was Boniface Wimo Vevi, who is currently in Denmark now. And then after him, we have the current chief, Chief George Chikandekande Simasiku Mamili, the 7th Mafwe chief. So I, besides mentioning them historical, I also indicated some incidences, some issues which I felt were important in my view. What happened during their rules, I documented those things so that people should know what really happened when these chiefs were there. So after that, then I equally documented the genealogy, that the family trees of all the chiefs, starting from Imata Kavaenda, etc., etc. And then chapter 8 deals with succession procedures, duties, and the privileges of the chief. I also documented that. And then I also came to the Mafwe Litinos cenotaphs. In the Luyana culture, when a chief is installed, he chooses a village where he will be buried when he dies. But okay, in our case, unfortunately, we only have one such place at Linyanti, where all these chiefs are buried, except for Denten and Simata, who is buried at Rungana, at Lusu. Because when he died, I think he died when he was deposed as a chief. So I also looked at the traditional authority, that is the Linyanti Kuta. In fact, the Kuta should be known as Linyanti Kuta, not the Chinchimani Kuta. The correct title of the Kuta is Linyanti Kuta for historical reasons, because it's Linyanti which appears in documents of David Livingstone and the rest. Then after the Linyanti Kuta, I also looked at the district Kutas and the function of the Mafwe law. And another important aspect of the book is the Sata ceremony. If you look at the cover of this book, that's what, if you look at the cover of this book, that's what Chief George Kandekande Simasiku Mamili is holding that stuff, that mess. Is a mess of authority of the Mafwe people. The main aim is to try and unite the Mafwe people. But I think sooner or later, one young man will come up with a magazine, Lusata magazine, where the issues will be explained. But maybe briefly with the Lusata mess, which is on page 90 in this book, I can briefly say what it means, because that's very, very important for the Mafwe people. The symbols which are there, the flying eagle, symbolizing the Mafwe community rising very high. The elephant is a symbol of power and the authority of both the king and the Mafwe community. And the tree signifying the intertwining and the thing of the linguistic categories around each other. Very around each other into into one stem, which is the Mafwe Traditional Authority. Very, very important, because that Lusata is a symbol of unity. The leopard signifies the power of the chief, and the mortar signifies the traditional grain stamping, which nourishes and feeds the Mafwe community. And then the wooden shaft wall is what unifies all groups under one traditional authority. So therefore that's why I decided to put this photo of Chief Mamili holding the Lusata, because with unity everything is possible. With unity, if these groups are united, everything. And then I looked at culture and other social matters, like the succession system, the marriage system, etc., etc., the fighting system, and then the role of the Mafwe in the liberation struggle, equally important, because it has been maintained and they believed that the Mafwe did not play any role in the liberation of Namibia, but especially at region level. We did in this region, in the Caprivi region. I don't think there's any other tribe, I'm talking about inside the region, which played a bigger role inside the region, not inside the country, but inside the Caprivi region, which is the Zambezi now. When the Mafwe died, the Mafwe suffered, they were tortured, and they fled the region and went into Zambia. And in fact, the first primary school in exile, composed of children from Singalame, from Sesheke, from Chiku, Kongola, those areas, which was opened by the former Prime Minister, Nasa Angola. All those issues are documented here. So therefore, for one to start saying the Mafwe did not fight the liberation war to free this country, it's not true. The Mafwe really died for this country. Most of them were arrested, they were taken to Pretoria for months, and in some cases even years. So I also I documented that to show the role the Mafwe played. And important to note is that I equally included some people who in exile who really played a very important role, like the late the third Lieutenant Colonel Zewedia Manawina Rufumire on page 115, and then equally included another important heroine, Mary Mupotinjao from Kongola. She's there, her history, and another heroine, Miss Muhao Doreen Kwaya at Sibinda village, and many others who are mentioned in this book, who fought and liberated this country. So it is both historical in terms of the chiefs who ruled the Mafwe, and equally the liberation struggle waged by the Mafwe people in the Caprivi, which is now Zambezi region.
Thank you, Dr. Lilemba. So for how long did it take you to compile such a book?
Well, there was an initial copy that came out, but it didn't have much information. For how long did it take me to compile the book? The research I started around 2007, there about I can say almost 7 years now. So because some of the information was not easy to come by, some of the pictures were not easy to find. Pictures of the Fasi, Imata, for example, it really took me time to find that photo. But for Imata, the first chief, will have to find that in the archives in Windhoek. But for the Fasi, I have to go through family members, and the person who actually really helped us is the chief, the former chief Richard Temsumuhinda. He still have a copy, so we yes. So So it was not easy to find that photo.
So he's the first chief.
No, he's the second chief.
Second chief.
Yes, second chief. And I'm still looking for the photo of Denten Wankismata, the third chief. That one I could not find. It was equally difficult to find the photo of Ngambela Vaili, Ngambela Musiale Vaili Kachana. It was equally, this one. It was equally difficult to find it. So I have to go through family members, and I would like to acknowledge the assistance rendered by Induna Crispin Sinyemba and Commissioner Bolen Sangwasa. So that's why I got that photo. So it was not so easy, but so well. I'm not saying I included everything here. And they got another photo that had to hunt was for Gambela Sloy. So it was also not easy. I have to go through family members. I lucky enough, the grandson who is based in Ralston, I had some photos. Yes, so this one.
He's also normal.
Yeah, he's also normal.
He's was in Gambela.
He was in Gambela
Chief
for
who?
Chief Veli. Chief, yeah, Veli Mamili.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
But I'm glad it is worth it. It took me some good 7 years. It was initially published in a rough form with less information. But I went back to the drawing board and gathered as much information as possible. So the book is finally out. But there could be some editions very soon. And the people, it's selling like Fetco currently. Almost everybody wants a copy. They want a copy. So we're well with
Where can they get it now?
they can get it. I gave 100 copies to Linyanti Kuta, that they sell the copies, and then the money they put into their coffers. So it's free. I gave it to them. I gave 100 copies to them. They're selling that. The few copies which I returned, well, I'm selling here and there, but importantly also, I do give a copy or two to some people. So I'm giving this one as free. It's yours.
All right. Thank you very much.
Yes,
So where did you print it?
Well, I printed that in Windhoek. The publisher is a company called Wed Weaver in Windhoek. Wed Weaver in Windhoek. But I'm planning to put it on the Amazon. Amazon is publishing company abroad who may sell and market the book. That those who cannot get copies directly from Wed Weaver, they can order directly from that Amazon publishing company. What happens, I have to enter into an agreement with them so they can print the book there and sell it. Say if a person from Zambia wants that copy and they cannot get that copy, so the person can go through Amazon. Or if a person currently now, the people who are in Denmark, they want that copy. So the easiest way that they can get that copy is to go through the Amazon after completing the agreement with them, because I need to enter into an agreement with them. I sign an agreement. They'll be selling copies for me, and then once or twice in a year, they give me the proceeding. They give me the money they have. They got after selling the book.
So when was it officially launched, or when was it?
Well, it was 3 weeks ago, I think now.
Okay.
Yeah, 3 weeks. And what is today? Today is 28.
27.
27 today. Early this month, yes. Yeah, so it's still new. Early this month.
How much?
The copy.
Yes.
Currently, for 25,000, they printed roughly 100, 120 thereabout. So in fact it's cheaper, because if you divide 25,000 by 100, it gives you roughly 250. So I'm selling it at 200, so which is cheaper. I'm not aware in fact even the Kuta is not getting profit. Anyway, they'll get profit because they did not pay for the publishing. So that's what is there.
Okay.
And thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Doctor.
Yes.